We got some very awesome Cyberpunk katana gameplay and just a ton of info since the latest Night City Wire, thanks to interviews, Q&As from people who played the game and way more. So let's get into it. A like on the video would be super appreciated, and let's go. A quick reminder that you can win Cyberpunk 2077 in my new July giveaway for a 2020 game of your choice on your platform of choice. Just click the link in the pinned comment and be a subscriber before you enter, and we'll reach out to the winner via the email. And I sent an email to the June winner and we'll announce it when I hear back. So the katana gameplay is coming from the German GameStar, who also went hands-on with the game. And for some reason they also had this awesome katana gameplay on top of all the regular B-roll that we've already seen. They already hinted at the existence of the katana in the E3 2018 demo, when we saw the shapes of the blade in the apartment of Fee, like right there in the weapon room, but we never really saw it in action until now, and it looks super powerful, slicing the enemies down in 2 hits. And we also see the controls here. With the right trigger you can do a fast attack. You can also hold it for a strong attack. We see the character block multiple times, and you can do that by holding the left trigger or L2, and can also dodge by pressing B or circle on the PlayStation controller. And we actually see the prominent stamina bar that goes down when running, and even more when you swing the weapon around, and it restores after taking some time between the attacks. And I'm sure there will be a lot of different katana variants that also differ in stats. We already saw an example of this last year with the hammer that you could get from the animal leader. As I showed you before, like this was a legendary hammer, so it will be awesome to get a legendary katana, of course, too. And maybe the Street Kid life path gets their hands on one more easily, because CD Projekt Red now shared multiple new images of the 3 different backgrounds that you can choose. And you pick one at the start, and this determines where you begin the game. Like for corporate, it's a luxury apartment. Street Kid is the underbelly of the city. Or actually, as a nomad, you start outside of the city in the Badlands. It also has an impact on your relationship with your friend Jackie, and also on what level you can interact with some of the characters thanks to extra choice options. And it seems to impact the look of your character a little bit as well, and we now see female V from the Street Kids with a katana in her hand that is different from the one they showed in the gameplay footage. Although I like this one a little bit more. So I'm sure that every character can use this weapon, but maybe it fits more with the Street Kid style. We also have some Street Kid images with male V. He just has a gun and some tattoos. The Nomad characters seem to be more focused on heavy firepower, and they really have this gang look, while the Corporate has of course way more class, a pistol or a cigarette. And as noted in my previous video, there are 3 different opening areas for each background that all take you around the 40 minutes to complete. And after that you get on a similar main path, and I think the information mission that we saw now multiple times in the footage is likely one of the main missions that everyone has to do. And the game will immediately switch over to another mission like Track That, because in the katana footage we first saw Gig Monster Hunt. And maybe that's one of the street stories that will be present in the game that you can get from one of the fixers. And Eurogamer noted that these should be comparable to the monster contracts from The Witcher 3. It says job complete, and maybe Regina Jones is a fixer in this area, because she sends you a short message saying, "You made a real mess in there, didn't ya? Hell, I'm fine with it. Gig closed." Another side mission that we got some footage of had us join a fight club where we see barehanded combat that seems to have the same controls as with the katana, although you obviously do way less damage. Skill Up noted in his hands-on video that while he liked the hand-to-hand combat, he felt that the katana controls still needed some work. But overall it seems like everyone gets to use this katana during this particular mission, and that seems to happen really early in the game. So hopefully CD Projekt Red still improves the combat a little bit, but overall it's awesome to know that we can use this weapon early on in the game. And every area should have its own fixer who will send you on jobs, and this should also be your main source of income. And mostly for these missions you have to eliminate a target or sabotage a server. You can also take on bounties or unearth clues that point to secret stashes, Game Informer notes in their article. They also talk about dynamic events that should constantly pop up, like crimes or gang-on-gang fights, and then you can choose to engage for some rewards, and there should be other fun activities as well, like car races, fist fights, as we already saw, and also shooting ranges, which sound interesting. In the katana footage we also see many shortcuts, and one of them was for your car, so you can likely call your car as you would call your mount in other games. And we now learned that you cannot customize your car, as Derek GR also points out on Reddit. So we will have to find and steal the awesome vehicles that we want ourselves. And I'm actually fine with that. It's like an extra reward for discovering the map. So likely if we want the Mad Max inspired vehicle, we have to search for it in the Badlands. Paris, in his Q&A video, and I will link to that in the video description, notes that you need to have a high enough skill level to be able to steal someone's car. So even if you found an awesome ride, you still need to rank up your fee to be able to get it. And inside the car we also see the controls for the vehicle. That includes some regular things that you would expect while driving, but also a combat mode that seems to give the AI control over your vehicle while you can like hang out and shoot the enemies. We also got new art of the district that was shown in the playable demo, so basically where the game begins, and this district is called Watson. We already saw nightclubs, skyscrapers, corporate offices in the footage. And now we learned that this is the bad neighborhood of Night City. So if the bad neighborhood already looks this interesting and futuristic, more so than Pacifica that we of course saw last year, then I'm even more interested in seeing the city center district that should have the most amount of luxury. There will be 6 districts in Night City in the final game, and we've only really seen 2 of them if I'm not mistaken. I also want to see more of the combat. We did of course get some new gun gameplay, but overall the opening of the game should be pretty light on fights. We did learn though that when you die in combat, that you will not lose anything of consequence. You will just restart from your previous checkpoints and can then start again. In older combat footage we saw wall running, with V using the mantis blades and then quickly moving along the wall. But now we learned that this has been removed, as reported by Game Reactor. That is something that we removed due to design reasons, but there's still going to be a lot of flexibility in how you move. And I would imagine that having wall run in a game like this would completely change the level design, because then every time you make a new level you have to think about the wall run feature. It looked awesome, but it wasn't really that needed in my opinion, and we already saw a double jump in the new gameplay footage, and there will likely be more. On Reddit we got Smoke Away, who put the different clothing styles of the game next to each other. We have of course seen V wear the samurai jacket a couple of times, of course in the cinematic, and also in the 2018 footage we see her pick it up in her apartment. But there will be more styles, like Intropism, more necessity over style. We got Kitsch, and that is the look of a long-lost golden age on people entirely unwilling or unable to forget it, according to CD Projekt Red. Neo-militarism, cold, sharp and modern, and my favorite is Neo-kitsch. We will likely see a lot of people wearing this in the city center district. The look of infinite wealth and vanity and just over the top. I really dig it. But overall, we will of course be choosing the items that have the best stats. I don't think there's a visual customization system in Cyberpunk. Like we did not see that last year when we got a new look at the inventory, while we did see that the outfits have stats and even rarities. We now learned that upgrades for armor mostly add stat increases, like upping your chance for a critical hit or getting some extra padding for your armor's effectiveness, as Game Informer notes. And I want to go way more in depth on the customization in a future video, so totally subscribe for way more on the game. I can't wait for Cyberpunk, and I would not be surprised if we already got a new Night City Wire actually this month. When we know more, I will of course let you know here. So keep an eye out on the channel. A like would be super appreciated. And totally check out my previous Cyberpunk video on how the game is even more ambitious than I thought. For now though, I will speak to you next time and goodbye.